So we are starting to record now the meeting with the teachers from Romania, headed by Florin, who focuses all the activity in Romania. And we have Gabriela joining us. How are you, Gabriela?
Very well, thank you.
Good to have you here. And we have Liana, and I'm sure we will have more. We also have Ram now joining us. Ram is a new coach on our group. He's just about to be Dr. Ram Neeman. Dr. Neeman is going to be, he is completing his studies on brain and cognitive sciences and advanced learning, the connection between cognition and learning and the brain, which is a subject of significant importance. And he has joined us now in our team. Hello, Ram, welcome.
Hello.
And,
can you hear me?
Yes, everybody can hear you. And so he will now assume this role that we had for Malkiel, and he will escort us and so forth. And I asked him to join us today. And we have Michaela. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hello.
Good to
I'm at school. I'm at work.
Good. We are all at work, you know, we do it from home, but yes, we are at work, all of us. And we have Florin, of course, who runs the entire operation.
Not sound. Okay, now it's working.
Florin is Dr. Florin Lichu is a water expert, a water engineer, and Rotarian, of course, and manages the whole group. And then Gabriela and Liana, all teachers, and we probably will have more teachers. So I suggest we start, and we first of all want to see how did you manage to look at our material? Yeah, Florin, you want to start?
No. First of all, I want to see if from each school from Romania there are some participants, because I'm connected through my mobile phone, and I think that from Târgu Jiu we have two schools. We have participants from the both schools. Hello.
Yeah,
It's me from Ecaterina Teodoroiu.
And from other school, Tudor Vladimirescu College?
I don't know about them.
Okay, it's something missing. Okay, from Oradea we have, and from Iași, from EuroEd, it's somebody connected?
Yes.
Okay.
This,
okay.
Of course, we have Mona here, and Gabriela is here. Okay. Wait a minute. Why? Hold on a minute. For some reason, on my list, I don't have Gabriela on the list. I remember Gabriela, of course, from the first meeting. Gabriela, you are from the EuroEd school?
EuroEd school.
Yes.
I see. All right. So let me just write you down here and.
Because I have asked to have 3-4 teachers involved from each school to be available, 1 or 2 to the meeting, to be connected to our meetings, because
we have more people coming in now. So we have 2 more people.
Okay.
Will you please open up the Excel sheet, and through the chat we can have the information from the people that we didn't have before. We don't have Gabriela's phone number and email here, so we will add, although I remember that you were with us last time. So in the chat you can add your phone number and your email, and Ram will enter it into our tracking table. And we have Andrea joining us.
Hello.
How are you, Andrea? How are you?
Hello, hi. I'm sorry to be late.
You are not too late. We just got there, so it's okay. How are you?
Fine, just got home from work. Everything is fine. Happy to see you.
You come from work to do Rotary Hands
more
Across
work.
Water. This is pleasure. Rotary Hands Across Water is pleasure, so this is okay. Okay, very good. We have another fellow from our group, Adilak, who is an expert on projects, and so he is joining now. I asked some of our coaches to join in so that you will be able to get to know them as we prepare for the activity going onwards, and you will see more and more of them. So I asked them to join in. Okay, Adi, welcome. Can you hear us? Adi, can you hear us? Your camera is shut off, so you can turn on the camera and everyone can see you. Okay. All right. Okay, there you go. So you see, Adi is a real man. He's not just an image. Adi is an expert. He is a colleague of mine from the Navy days, and he's a submariner and an expert on hardware and projects, and he will be able to help us. And we also have Alina. Alina, how are you? You need to open up the microphone if you want that we will hear you. Alina, open up your microphone.
Okay, it's okay. I have a very bad mouse. It's not listening to me. It's with his own power. So
No, but you're doing okay. All right.
Yeah, it's okay. I just finished the classes and
Alina, what school do you come from? Which school?
From Târgu Jiu, Tudor Vladimirescu. I'm Manuela colleagues. He's
your colleagues of Manuela. Okay.
Yes, she has classes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alina,
yes.
I will ask you to write down in the chat your email and your mobile phone so that we can communicate with you later.
Yes.
Okay, we will introduce everybody else in a minute.
We have now all the schools connected.
Yes. We know, we can trust you guys from Romania. You are serious, and this is lovely. Let me just get here some. All right. So, guys, let's start. And first, I want to ask you if you had good luck in trying to go over the material we sent you, and if it was all understandable, and if this is a good media for us to communicate, where we provide on this database on Google, and you can see it and you can understand the English and so forth. So what is your feedback? What do you think about it? Is it good enough? Is it usable? Alina, what do you think?
Okay, yes, I think it's usable, but we have to adapt a lot of your information because, our curricula is not like yours. For us, water and water necessities is not an issue, maybe the pollution, maybe the way the people act regarding to the water, but no lack of water, So we must to make some changes for us.
Alina, let me respond to you. I think communicating like this would be excellent and will promote it with all of us. So let me say a few things. Number one, it is excellent that you can understand it. This is the critical thing. If you can read the English and understand, this is goal number one. Goal number two, relative to the curricula. I want to say two things on the curricula. First of all, when we refer to the curricula, we refer to what you have in your plan in the school system. And your curricula, probably very much like our curricula, has the very basic science, mathematics, physics, Newton's law, basic chemistry, biology, life sciences, and so forth. Also in our system, it's the same, and we do not have a very major curricular portion for water. So the idea is what we do, and this is our idea, Rotary Hands Across Water with the Rotary, that we teach about water, but we are really concerned about the value that those programs has relative to the standard general curricula, namely, how can we learn physics when we talk about water wells or even water desalination, because it has a lot to do with pumps and power and energy? Or how can we learn chemistry when we teach about water reclamation and water treatment? Or even biology, because it is based on bacteria and decomposition and so forth. So on one hand, it is water reclamation, and it has to do with water shortage and how you recycle water. But the subject that we treat is really biology. It's bacteria and exponential growth and providing oxygen. And, so long as there is organic matter, it keeps growing. And then when it decomposes all the organic matter, we let it die and clean it. And so this is how we recycle the water and decompose the organic matter. So what we have here is chapters in chemistry and biology using water as an example. So this is very, very important. So this is why I spent some time on it, because it allows you to use the program and the idea of STEM based on water in school, because you have limited hours. And of course, now, especially with the Corona situation, you do not have too many hours, and you don't want to spend hours on something that is extracurricular. So what we do is we ask ourselves, what is it in the mathematics that we can show you when we talk about water reclamation? And there's a lot, because you see, when you take the water and you purify it and you drain it out, you go through the percentage until the very last few percentage, which is, so you work with percentage very much. Or when you take the dry out the residue, and you have to dry it out, you have to take all the water out. So there's a lot of processes in mathematics, basic mathematics, working on percentage and stuff like this. So the value is in general curricula, and this is what you should be looking for. In other words, we need to adapt it in two ways. On one hand, it is true, you have different water problems than we have. So if we are talking about water shortage, you may have a concern with water flooding, or, that's one thing. And on the other hand, you have to adapt it to the curricula for your school age, for your school, for the emphasis, for where you are in the school year, what you already taught and what you want to teach and so forth. But if you understand that, and this was an excellent response, Alina, because this is at the heart of it, because if you can do that, then you're all set, because our ideas about desalination and reclamation and avoidance of leakages and watering smartly is what we do. But we only sent you that as an inspiration. So you have an idea, and now you bring up your situation, and we try to adapt it to your program. And we will be here to try and work with you. So if you take some of the situation, in your town, and you have a question as to how to apply it, in terms of maybe sanitary, so we can help you out, find out what the relation is, because the basic sciences that is taught at school, that is pretty similar. Everybody studies the basic sciences. Everybody wants to understand about energy and about forces and about chemical interaction and so forth. So thank you very much for the response. Excellent information. You can understand, you realize you have to adapt it both to the curricula and to the water situation in Romania. Lovely. This is where we want to go. Lina, what can you tell us?
So I am agree with what you have said. I has an idea to make STEM lessons I don't know if it's possible with the corona situations, STEM lessons with, for example, the growth of the bacteria in water, and with logarithmics in mathematics, you know, something
Excellent.
like that.
Logarithmic, you mean logarithmic and exponential, you know,
Yes,
because it's the
yes,
other way, right? It's
exponential.
true.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
let me tell you, we have a chapter on that. It's true, it is in Hebrew, and we developed it now because of the exponential growth. We developed it for the corona, but it's very applicable. So we can give you some ideas, but yes, you can certainly do that. And I will tell you also how to do STEM on that. Not only how to do STEM, but also how to do STEM now, where you are removed from the students, because I suppose you do most of the teaching over Zoom. Is that correct?
No, we are in the, I don't know how to say, in a hybrid scenario, you know.
Hybrid.
Hybrid. Some students are in class, so some students are home,
Okay.
and we rotate.
Okay, so before we move over, I just want to complete, because it's an excellent question. So we had a model for the exponential growth of the coronavirus. True, this is coronavirus, this is not this, but it's very similar in that respect, because it relates to the exponential growth. In that respect, it's the same. It's, you know, very much the same, because it works on bacteria as well. But the idea is that we have an Excel model where you can actually see the exponential growth. So you have the mathematics, the formula, you have an Excel model, and you can really experiment and draw the plots. And then, of course, you can apply logarithmic scales and straighten this out and so forth. So yes, this is lovely. And of course, there are a lot of simulation tools for that. So we write this down and give you some ideas. But if you ask, this is an excellent STEM project. And of course, if you can do some experimentation in the classroom, if the children are there, that's also okay. An important word here, working with bacteria in school is a little dangerous. There's a question of safety. So that's not allowed. But what you can do, which is the same thing, is you can work with yeast. Yeast, you know, yeast in bread, and, you know, so you grow yeast and you monitor the turbidity of the water. You put some yeast in the water and you monitor the turbidity. Equipment is not very expensive. You can do it even without the equipment. Just do some reference and measure the turbidity, and you can see the exponential growth. So it is very practical. It is very safe. It has to do with something similar to bacteria, you know, with yeast. So yes, it's a wonderful idea for STEM. Excellent.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay, we move over to Liana. What can you tell us, Liana, and how is your impression? You need to open up the speaker. Okay.
We collaboration with the physics department for the manufacture of water fountain.
From
with
what?
Solar
What is the manufacture of water from what?
Fountains.
From fountain, yes.
Fountains. Okay. With solar cell in the schoolyard.
Beautiful. So this is a fountain or a well?
Fountain.
So it is coming. Oh, so you want to produce a fountain?
I have a model with.
So you want to take solar energy and consume it and accumulate it in a battery and use a little motor and pump and create a fountain?
Yes. What this?
Yes, lovely. I can see. Okay. So you will have, very good. So you can send us the picture and we will show you. So let me ask you here just to make sure that I understand correctly. Just a minute.
Oh. Dacă
So
prezent,
you are talking, you are considering to make, to accumulate energy with a cellular cell like this, with a
Yes.
photovoltaic cell, and connect it to a battery to consume the energy, or to connect it to a little motor, and then operate a little pump and have a fountain.
yes.
Wonderful idea. This is, you jump right to the solution. So you know the idea, you know the project, you know what to do in STEM. So what can you do with that? What you can learn from that is about energy and about water pumping. And you can learn a lot about the transfer of energy from heat to electric energy. And then when the electric energy goes into the motor, then it turns into mechanical energy, and it depends on the height that the water come up. And so you have MGH, the elevation, and the speed the water come out. So you can see the power. So it is a wonderful idea. We have made a program like this. We have done it separately from the photocell, but this is okay. It's a photovoltaic cell is an excellent source of energy. What I would suggest when you make the plan is that you teach the students as well about the fact that there is what people call water energy nexus. Namely, the treatment of water is always dependent on energy. So because you need to pump water out of a well, or you need to put a lot of energy into reverse osmosis, or even in a water reclamation, for the bacteria to work, you have to put a lot of oxygen, air into the reactor. So you pump a lot of air. So it's another question of energy. So there's always a question of a lot of energy when you treat water. In Israel, for instance, 4% of the consumption of energy across the entire country goes to desalination of seawater. Very demanding in terms of energy. So when you are working out with solar energy and a little pump and coming out of a fountain, you can demonstrate the fact that there is need for a lot of energy just to bring in, out of the fountain, the water to an elevation of 1 meter requires a lot of energy. And you can measure the energy. You can measure the voltages and current. By the way, for that purpose, there is a wonderful kit made by Lego called Lego Education on renewable energy. And it is made just for that. So you can do a lot of experimentation like this. We will send you information and we will provide you guidance on how to use it. It is a very, very smart device. It's a box like this. Can you see?
Yes.
And what this box does, you can connect it to a cellular cell like this here in the back. And so when it generates energy, the energy, you can measure the voltage and the current and the power. But what's more important, this is very simple, but very, very elegant. So what happens here is that this part is a battery, is a rechargeable battery. But what happens is because there's energy coming in, and when you put the battery here, it becomes like a little tank of energy. So you can monitor how much energy came in. And then, of course, you can connect a motor like this. And you connect a motor like this that has a little pump. And we, there are very simple motors like this, like for water sprinkler on the windshield in the car. And you connect the motor here on the other side. And you operate the motor with this switch. And you can see how much energy it takes. So what happens here is that you can understand the accumulation of energy and how it goes out. Very good idea. If we continue this way, Florin, I think this will be right away changing over, and we will be learning from you rather than us teaching you. Excellent ideas. Okay, so we heard from Liana.
My colleague Anka present all this.
Oh, she will present all of it?
But you
Allow
don't-
to Anka to connect to us, to the Zoom meeting.
Oh, she
I'm
was.
none. Please allow.
Oh, I see. All right. Here, there she is. Christina joined
Please.
in and Anka joined in as well. Welcome, Anka. Let us see. Where is Anka? And where is, let's see, Christina, you need to turn on the camera, and Anka is turning on the camera. Very good. So Anka is working with you?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Hello, I managed to come in.
All right, there you go. Beautiful.
Hello, I'm
Outstanding.
sorry.
Don't be sorry. We just heard about the beautiful idea that you have on working a water fountain with cellular, with solar energy, and it's a lovely idea for STEM, addressing the energy water nexus. So, you know, excellent, very relevant, and we can help you on that. We've did a
Yes.
like this.
Yes, Liana is the brains behind this idea, this brilliant idea, and she is going to work with the physics department on this. So yes, I think the parents will also be very happy because all the theory that the children acquire at school will be put into good practice. Let's just hope they don't close the schools for now.
Well, you know, even if they do, we can do part of this experiment even on virtual experimentation using simulation tools. We in Israel for the junior high school are completely closed now, and we are still planning on doing it. And as I said, we will have things to show you, including visits to the facilities and so forth. So it is all done over Zoom. So you are lucky. If you can bring the children to the school part of the week, for 1 or 2 days in a week, you are lucky. You are in a much better shape than we are, because
We're not.
We're not allowed at all.
Yeah, I think we're heading in that direction. You're just a bit ahead of us. We're joining in, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is really very challenging. Okay, Florine, who do we take next? We have such a large group. I would rather have you select the groups and tell us, you know. So how do we, who proceeds? Do we want to, yeah, go ahead.
I have to do some comments. For the reason that we have group of teachers for each school, and several times we didn't met together, all together, and we changed the component of the team in some meetings. I kindly ask my teachers for all the school to have a common point of view for each school and to prepare together a common document regarding the aspects the action plan or their feeling regarding this project. First of all, this project is only to the beginning. We cannot solve in a meeting or in the next meetings everything we are thinking, because the project will be for 2 or 3 years from now. The second one, as I told you, and everybody has agreed, the Romanian issues are different comparing with Israel issues. But we have to learn, and we can learn from the Israeli experience, even we don't have these issues, because the Israeli experience, it's much better and they are more developed as in Romania. And maybe a document, as they have all the teachers or all the school have understood the concept of the project, of the documents we have to prepare to send to you a draft for each school, a common document from all the teachers to have an idea about specific of the school and of the geographic area where they are located. It's better to have such of document for you and of course for us, and we can change the documents between the schools. I think will be useful for the future of the meetings and of the project.
Florine, thank you very much. I think it's a very wise advice. This is why I suggested that you do it, you know, in my summary email. This is based on our experience. This is what we do with the schools when we come to a school. And by the way, we do it every year and new, because every year there's a new subject and a new project. So we think, we discuss it with the teachers, and then we ask them to prepare a document that will outline the purpose, the kind of project, where they want to visit, the time scale, and what they want to produce as a product and so forth. So we have a common understanding. Now, they may change it in the year. They may encounter a challenge, or they may want a different idea. That's okay. But at least you start out with a document, and especially now we can communicate. And when we team you up with the school in Israel, they will have an idea about what you do. Maybe they will be able to help you. You will have an idea about what they have in mind, and you can help them possibly. So this helps the communication. And furthermore, what we found out is that if you have to write down something on a piece of paper on one page, no more, then it becomes very concrete for you. And you have to make all the decisions of the timeline, the components you need, and so forth. And if we know that you have a challenge ahead of time, we can send you some stuff or show you how to get it and so forth. Okay, excellent. Let's hear about the next group. And then I want to also hear from you about organizations and water utilities or industry or academia that you think you can communicate with locally in your towns, because you don't want to do it just in school. You want to reach out to the industry. So, Michaela, how do you think?
First, we try to do an interdisciplinarity training at school level with our students in physics, chemistry, and biology laboratories. I hope that Corona will let us to do these activities. We'll work with water sample, and we try to determine the physical water indicators, the suspensions in water, and many other learning activities with our students. There are biology and chemistry teachers in our team, and they will work with the students. Also, after the experience, we'll use IT resource for data processing, Excel files, also graphics, and I think more about this because I'm an IT teacher. Okay, also we'll make some visits at public health direction.
And where again? Where is the visit?
Public health
Public
direction.
health, okay.
Sorry for my English.
No, you're okay.
Also
Public health.
Health, yes.
But hold on a minute, a question. Public health regarding the quality of water, is it in connection with the water supplier, with the water utility, or is it only Ministry of Health?
I think a little of both of them.
Combination, beautiful,
Yes.
very good.
Okay, also at the sanitary veterinary direction, and to also our city hall, because we have some connections with them, and to our university, to the university from Târgu Jiu.
Wow,
and
so very wide.
Yes, because we have some connections there, and I already spoke with some teachers, and they gave us many important information, and I'm sure that our students will learn very much from them. Maybe we'll have some online meetings and maybe physical, I don't know for this moment, it depends.
Yeah, this is excellent. What you have already is fantastic.
Yes, and I think this is the beginning.
Very
We'll
good.
see.
Well, let me tell you, first of all, congratulations. I mean, it's a wonderful area to research. And I already can see the diversity, you know, different schools, different ideas. And of course, as we proceed, you will be able to enrich each other. You know, this time you do chemistry and someone else does the fountain and the energy. Next time you switch and you learn from their experience. And right away, you can see how rich this can be. This business of water quality is, you know, I don't need to tell you because you understood it already by yourself. On one hand, it's chemistry, And on the other hand, it's of course very, very important from a water supply practical point of
Yes.
view. So it's
Yes.
the city hall, the water utility, and so forth. And they will tell you how expensive it is to make sure that the water is okay. Can they put enough chlorine, or what the dangers are, and so forth. So you will hear the practical aspects, and you can even run a test on water quality in school, or even on water taste, even if you just worry about the taste of the water. So you take samples of water from different areas in the city,
Exactly.
and you blind test them, and then you can measure, and not always, is it the best water taste the better? With water taste, it's what you are used to. This is the water that you like. So you can examine that. We ran some experiences like this with children blindfolded with the water, and very interesting results. And on the other hand, this is real chemistry. So there's pH, and there's turbidity, and conductivity and salinity. All of these features of the water, now you can measure them in quantitative manners. Beautiful STEM activity. On one hand, science and actual measurement, quantitative, and so the children understand. And if you, when you measure salinity or conductivity, you show the connection between the two. You can measure it, just with a current meter, just to see, or with a special meter, but then throw some salt into the water, see the conductivity going up, and so you can see what has an impact on it. So you study the matter, and then you know the impact and how it tastes, and beautiful idea, beautiful idea. And, as background, it would be worthwhile to present to the students, the general challenge and what is the situation relative to water quality, in your town or in Romania. So you put it in context of the broad question, so the children understand. But the subject is wonderful, very practical, and a good choice. Good. Okay.
Thank
Who
you.
continues? We have Christina here, and we have Andrea. Andrea, do you want to tell us what you think?
From Yash, yes.
Ed, please.
Yes, we are here. Would it be possible to have the screen share rights? Because we prepared the, let's say, initial document, as Florine said.
Hold on a minute. Now everyone can share, and you're welcome to show us something.
You can see the presentation?
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah, so I just tried to put some ideas.
Okay.
I hope, Florine, this is an idea of material you are thinking of.
Okay.
So how can I? Okay, so these are just some introduction information about our school. I'm not going to read again because we discussed in the previous meeting.
Okay.
Anyway, what is new, let's say, is that RHAW will involve 3 teachers from 3 different school disciplines, from biology, chemistry, and geography.
Beautiful.
And we are going to involve the students from 2 classes, from the 6th and 7th grade. There will be 26 pupils in total. And of course, we are going to collaborate with the school principal, and as we introduce ourselves, with also the members from the school, the project department.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. That's interesting. So they are tracking what we are doing.
Yes.
Very nice.
Because as we said, we also have other projects in.
Maybe we need to put on ties.
No, it's not nothing very formal, but it's good because we have also other projects in terms of STEM, so it's good to make connections, and to share the results.
Excellent. Good.
Okay, and I just want to let you know about the steps. So what we've been done until now. First of all, we set up the teams. As we said, we are going to have 3 teachers and the 2 classes, the pupils from the 2 classes. Then we went through the materials you sent. and I have some feedback from the teachers who went through the materials. In general, they said that the materials are very useful. For sure, they will be needed to be adapted according to the needs of their classes. But it's good because anyway, the materials are produced and are adapted for educational purposes. This is very, very important. The materials have been appreciated in terms of the specific content, but also the illustrative, the illustration you included. This is very, very good, visual impact. It's more easy to understand the concepts that are delivered. So the materials are very attractive with a lot of images, videos, links, informations. So this has been very, very well appreciated. And also they appreciated the qualitative contents included. So for sure the materials will be used for the teaching purposes. Then we discussed about the need for translation of the materials. We said that at this moment, because this is the specific of our school in EuroEd, it is a language, let's say, school. So we prefer at this moment to keep the materials in English. But we said that if will be the case for a specific material to be needed to be translated, we will do it. So we will inform you if we are going to translate something exactly. Then we went for a baseline research on water situation at the local level. We did, of course, we started with the internet research to see what information we can get from the internet, but also we went and we discussed with the main company of water supply in Iași.
Beautiful.
So we are working to put all the data together. We have quite a lot of information about water from different point of view, because the company delivers us information from the water catchment, or I don't know exactly how it's the term, for water treatment, water distribution, about the drinking water quality. So there are different aspects relating connected
the water
to water
supply
use.
system, right? The water supply system.
Yes. So soon we will put all this data together so we can send you a report about the situation of water in Iași. So as we said, also we done the steps for identification of local support partners, and we set up connections with Apa Vital. This is the main local water supply company in Iași. They are very open. We had also previous connections with them, so they said that we can get the full support from them. They already sent us some materials. They have, and of course, information about the water situation. We also planned a meeting, but in between we found out that unfortunately they had some COVID cases, and they said it's better now not to have a visit in their institution.
Okay.
We will see.
Exactly. So what happens, and this is very important, this is the situation all over the place. And now we have difficulty taking students together. And also the industry, they don't want students because they want to be protected. But what you can do is, one teacher can come to the facility and take a movie. And so if you take some pictures or video from the pumping station or the big supply tank and so forth, you can then bring it to the class. So we are doing that, of course, very uniquely with virtual reality, but even simple, this is so that you don't eliminate it altogether. You do make some connection, but yes, of course, you cannot bring all the class into the facility. But this is lovely what you're telling us. The fact that you can identify a utility and connect with them, wonderful. Don't give this up. It's very important.
So even more, being a company, they also have the entire system of water treatment and so on, water plant and so on. So it will be very interesting. We have to admit that it's not the first time we collaborate with them. So we already did some videos and we had some meetings with the children there, so we have a previous experience. But of course, this is always good to be done ongoing. So yeah, we'll be in touch with them, and we will see further what we can do. They also offered us contact another organization. Actually, it's RHAW Association. Is the same company, but they felt the need to set up an association for the educational purpose of water, environmental protection, civic spirit, and so on. Yeah, so urban development. And they have a lot of videos with the use of water and so on. So they also have, you know, experts to be able to explain us the contents. So it will be very, very good to put the materials from them and from you, and you know, to have the contents for our activities with students. So,
Excellent. I'm very happy to hear that. It sounds wonderful. I have no comment at all. Flowin, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I'm now in Iași, and I'm working from the hotel. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, I have a meeting to the water utility with the general manager, which is a friend of mine. And they are one of the best water utility in Romania. They are one of the largest one in Romania. They have a lot of projects, including water education. And as Andrea said, they have working for a while and cooperating, focusing on the water education. And at noon, I will have a meeting with the teachers in EuroEd, putting together, discussing first of all about this project and about another project, you know, developed by me in Romania, education and washing hands. And I think that the Iași experience, it's one of the power and good experience working the schools, the water utility, the university, a lot of water professionals from this important city of Romania. And this model will be also continued and copied in Oradea and Târgu Jiu.
Wonderful. This is really wonderful. I think we're making excellent progress. In fact, much faster than I thought. I mean, we're really, you know what to do, and you know, we're just teaming up and working together. And there isn't a lot of training that we need to do, because you really understand it nicely. Very good, very good. Andrea, thank you very much for sharing this. And when you have more specific ideas about what you want to do on the project itself, after you communicate with them, by all means, let us know, and I'm sure it will be very effective.
yes, yes, I just want shortly to mention in the next slide, the one you can see now, are already some videos we created for the students. They are in the Apa Vital company. So at Chirița Lake, it's the main lake to supply the water in Iași. And we have some videos with the water treatment plant, with the scheme of the water treatment, and also other materials about water treatment and water pollution. So these are videos we created, filmed in the plant. As we said, we discussed with the teachers from our school, and these are the topics we selected from the table with the school disciplines. So these are, let's say, the point interest of our teachers, not only ones, but as some ideas. In EuroEd, we have two focuses at this moment. We want to focus a lot on subjects which are not in the school curriculum, but we consider that it's important for the students to be aware of them, like global water crisis, sea plastics, modern environments, and so on. So these are very, very important for our students to learn about. And Unfortunately, we are a small school. At this moment, we don't have a scientific laboratory, so students cannot do scientific experiments, let's say. So we consider that it's very important to try as much as possible to bring videos and examples to our students to show them how things are done. We intend also to work with laboratories from other schools to be able to film and to use the virtual reality to show experiments to students. So the materials you mentioned filmed in the 3D or virtual reality, I'm pretty sure that will be very useful for our school. So
let me tell you,
we appreciate this collaboration very much.
Excellent. Andrea, let me tell you a few things about it in response. First of all, the topics that you suggest are very interesting and different than what the others, so it's perfect. Environment, is really very major for the children, especially as we move forward for the future. So it will become a major problem and a major area of studies. The Rotary has just turned environment into one of its major focus areas. So you are just, preceding what is going to happen, but environment is going to become a major subject in school. So don't worry, you are going in the right direction. And moreover, environment is not in itself. Environment has an impact in biology and in chemistry and so forth. So it is not diverse. It is just another look at chemistry and biology as it relates to the environment. So you don't teach chemistry just as a subject, but combine it with with the environment. So what is acid and what is acid rain, and what is bases and and what is soap and so forth. So you can connect between the theory and the environment. The treatment, the scientific treatment of environment is really based on understanding of biology and chemistry. And that's number one. Number two, we are preparing now a whole set of experimentation, virtual experimentation, because you see, we in Israel are, the coronavirus was very challenging last month. And so we actually had to shut down, and schools are shut down, especially junior high school. And we don't see the students in junior high school coming to school together at all at least until December, January, maybe. So before January, we don't expect to see them at all. So we had to prepare something. So we prepared a whole list of experiments that they can do at home. But then something else happened. When you have a little experiment that you can run at home, even if it's very safe, there is the question of liability, because the teacher is responsible. And if you are teaching a student to do something, maybe with a little fire or water, and then there's flooding at home, or God forbid, there's fire, there's a lot of danger and liability from a safety point of view. So the Ministry of Education issued a general instruction saying no experimentation at all at home, period. No tolerance, nothing, because you don't know what will happen. And so we had to adapt to that. So what we did was we reverted back to experimentation with simulation on the computer. So we have a whole set of simulations on the computer. We didn't create it. It's available in English, some in Hebrew. I'm sure you have some in Romanian, maybe in French, but English, of course, you can use. There are a lot of simulation on the net that you can actually run experimentation in school or at home. So this will provide support you in that. Now, another thing that I want to mention relative to the fact that you don't have a lab. First of all, I understand, labs are usually very challenging and costly, but there is one solution that we can help you with, or at least direct you toward. There's an Israeli company called SES for scientific instruments or scientific educational systems, scientific educational systems. They make sensors, small data loggers, like for pH and pressure and conductivity or turbidity, small sensors like this. And they work independently or with the cell phone. and they're not very costly, you know, $50 to $100 each sensor. And if you buy yourself, you know, 3, 4, 5 sensors like this, you know, maybe $1,000, maybe, or $500, maybe. This builds you a whole laboratory, and you can connect it to the cell phones. Of course, not every child has the equipment, but you can share it, and everybody can see the result because it's you know, it's in the internet on the cell phone. And so this is a way to buy this equipment. You can buy it from Amazon, it's available, and very friendly, very simple. And, you know, with, you know, very limited amount, you can actually set up a laboratory. And it grows and it has more and more sensors and so forth. That's one family. And the other family of sensors like this and devices, a little more costly, but very rich in performance, is the equipment based on Lego. So Lego education that we just demonstrated, you know, you can build a whole laboratory based on that. And so even if you don't buy it all in one time, you just buy the beginning and slowly you buy a temperature sensor, salinity, what have you, pressure sensor, you can build up a whole lab without building a laboratory room and sink and everything else, which of course is much more expensive. So it's a way to start and progress from there. For instance, on pumps, as I told you, we just took pumps from windshield wipers and 12 volts, a little power supply or battery, and right away you can have a water pumping experiment with physics, which is relatively easy. But I think you are making a wonderful, you know, first of all, you understand everything, you understand the material relative to the translation, while you may not need it for yourself because you are fluent in English, obviously, but the other colleague schools that you have may benefit from translation. So you may consider that, you know, maybe not for yourself, but for other schools. But I think to have it in Romanian would eventually be great. But I think you're doing excellent progress, and there's nothing to say on it now. And we will progress later into the specific of the subject, and that would be very helpful. Beautiful, Andrea. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you can stop sharing, and we can now
Yes.
see. Okay, so who do we have else now that wants to make a comment? Gabriela, do you want to tell us something? You have to open up your mic. Gabriela, you have to open up your microphone. Okay.
Excuse me, I'm the same team with Andrea and we work to the same project.
Okay, excellent. All right, so Florine, who is next now?
I think that all the schools have spoken, yes.
Excellent. I think, Florine, I'm very pleased. I mean, you know, this is the end of the weekdays work. You know, we are off on Friday and Saturday. And this is like 7 o'clock now. We're ending the meeting. And what a lovely way to start a weekend with such a wonderful meeting, with such a good, you know, work that you've done. And we'll plan another meeting where you will have a chance to document this and send this to us, like Andrea did. And we will design in detail, and we will hear what you had to say from your meeting with the with your collaboration. And we have also started the operation with our schools in Israel now, you know, because we had high holidays until last week. So we are just starting with them, but you are already, you know, ready, and we would start to consider what twinning we make so that we can introduce you to the schools and so forth. Ram, do you want to say something? What is your impression from the experience?
I think that everything sounds very interesting, all the projects that you offered. And just one thing about the motivation, I heard in the beginning of the conversation that you said that the situation in Romania and in Israel is a little bit different in terms of water, but from what I understand in Romania, it's not that you don't have a lack of water, but the subject of water in Romania and all over Europe is very important because, for example, in Romania, as I understand it, if I remember correctly, a great percentage of the electricity in the country is produced by hydroelectric energy. So you can always connect this issue to your situation, your local situation. And that's what Amnon is trying to tell you. You take water and you use it with your situation to learn all these basic science matters. And of course, we can always talk about the geopolitics of water, because we can ignore the lack of water in other places. But then you have refugees coming to Europe because the beginning of all these issues is the lack of water. We can't ignore it. It's happening all around us in the world. And that's what's the motivation, as I see it, for students. First of all, in the local level, that's how we get electricity. That's important. And second of all, that affects the situation of my country, because if my neighbors don't have water, then it affects me also. So that's just the beginning of it, but it's a beautiful project. Agree that there is a lot of future in this matter.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Ram.
Just one more thing. Andrea, could you please also write down your details, your phone number and email, because we don't have it in our list too?
You can add it in the chat.
Yes, sure. I'm sending now.
Thank you very much.
Adi, do you want to say a word? Your microphone is up.
No, I don't say nothing. It's okay.
Well, at least you could say thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Really very well appreciated. I think this is working wonderfully. And in fact, we have this recorded, so we will use this as an example for other schools and so forth. This is really working very nicely. I'm very glad we started this out and jumped into the water, and well, we can still have all kinds of challenges on the way, but it looks like we can handle it, and we're working together nicely. So thank you very much, Florin. Thank you for organizing, teachers. Thank you for working together. Florin, next time we need to see a man. I mean, we don't get this feeling that it's only women that are teaching.
We are enough. We are enough. The ladies first, please.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you
first, but only, and this is so unbalanced, you're only ladies and we are only men. A terrible situation. We have to bring.
I am a lucky man. I have a large female team in Romania. Take care. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.